Hey everybody, this is Jeff with Bear River Blogger, and today we're going to talk about one of the strangest sounding birds you've ever heard, the great-tailed grackle. I got some video here to show you of what I recorded today on the Bear River Bird Refuge. But before we get into that, if you like these little nature videos, go down below and hit the subscribe button and follow us. You can subscribe to our blog, bearriverblogger.com. And check us out at Bird Shirts and More. It's our apparel website. We sell bird watching and nature themed t-shirts and hoodies and stuff. And help support this channel and help support our website. And there'll be links in the description below of all this stuff. So anyway, let's get back to the great-tailed grackle. What you're looking at here is, this morning I was walking the Bear River Migratory Bird Refuge nature trail behind the visitor center. And I came across this great-tailed grackle that's sitting on top. It's actually sitting on top of the photo blind, ironically enough. And so I pulled out my phone and was recording it, and I got some very distinct sounds. I think it makes 3 different calls here. You kind of heard the first one, but he'll do it again here in just a second. So they're very odd sounding, even really more odd than the yellow-headed blackbird. So I think he's going to do it right about here. That's the first sound he makes on this video, and he does it one more time here. Then he does a couple different ones a little later, a little in the video. So isn't that a strange sound? I think he does it right here again. In just a minute here, he'll do the second sound, and what he's doing now is he actually flew down to the pond here just next to the photo blind, and he took a bath. So that's what he's doing. He's kind of drying out here. So I think he's going to do the second call here just a second. Now this is a male great-tailed grackle, and isn't that a strange sound? And he's going to do it again here in just a second, and I can only assume, like most birds, he's looking for a mate. He's calling for a female great-tailed grackle. There, he did it again. That's the second distinct sound that he makes here on this video, and there's a third one coming up here in a little bit. That's the third distinct sound that he makes, and he's going to do it here again in just a second, so listen up. That's the sound, the different calls of the great-tailed grackle. They're not quite as harsh as the yellow-headed blackbird, but just as strange if you've never heard them before. I've only seen great-tailed grackles here in northern Utah for maybe 8 or 10 years. And when I got on Cornell University's All About Birds website, I looked at it, and their normal range only comes up to about central Utah, just a little bit further north, where the Bear River Bird Refuge is typically out of their normal range. So it's kind of like a southern Utah, then it goes down into like Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Colorado. So it's kind of a southwestern bird. But it looks like they might be expanding the range, because every year I'm seeing more and more here in northern Utah, especially in gas stations. They try to pull food out of gas or garbage can stuff, and I've seen them on the auto route in the summertime as well. So they're becoming more and more common, but I guess they're not really a typical bird that's been here traditionally, but they might be expanding their range. They typically eat plant matter throughout the year, but during the summertime they eat a lot of bugs, which is why I guess they come to the refuge, because there's a lot of bugs out here for them to eat, which it seems like perfect habitat. But they're kind of a strange little bird, but I kind of like them when I see them show up like that. I love their sound, because they're kind of friendly. They're not as wary as other birds to photograph and get close to, which I was probably 10 feet away from that bird when I was videotaping, so they're not as hard to photograph as other birds. So I just thought that was kind of cool. If you want to hear the unique sound of the great-tailed grackle, which isn't a typical bird we see here in northern Utah, but they're becoming more and more common with every year. So keep your eye out for it. This one was on the nature trail behind the visitor center, but I have seen them out on the auto tour route. This one's a male. You can tell it's a great-tailed grackle, because when it flew off and onto these cattails, you could see how big and kind of bushy the tail was. That's a great-tailed grackle, and this one's a male. So just kind of interesting. So thought you guys might like to hear the unique sounds of the great-tailed grackle call. If you like these little nature videos, like I said before, subscribe to this channel and share it with your friends that love birds and nature, and Subscribe to our blog at bearriverblogger.com and check out our apparel store at birdshirtsandmore.com, and we will catch you on the next video update.